Hello, everybody. You're listening to Let's Master English, and my name is Coach Shane. Welcome to podcast number 7, our 7th episode. I'm so happy that you have downloaded the podcast and that you are listening. Our goal is to help you master English. Now remember, these podcasts are pretty long, so you don't have to listen to the entire podcast at one sitting. You can listen a little bit now and a little bit later and just have fun with it. Also, don't forget, thanks to your friends, other podcast listeners like Bettina and Jyoti and Key and all the others, we have a dictation of the podcasts. And you can find those transcripts on our website. That's www.letsmasterenglish.com. It's a great place to get the transcripts, and you can also, of course, download the podcast there. Now, last week I introduced the Russian fans. There were so many likes, lots of 5 stars. Thank you so much on iTunes. And I said I would introduce other countries today. However, Andre from Russia said, "You must introduce me, or I will kill you." Well, I don't think he said, "I will kill you." But, you know, he's got that slightly Russian English accent, and he sounds very serious. He's a little bit scary to me. So I must introduce Andre, and what I'm going to do today, first of all, thank you to everybody who gave me a rating on iTunes, and today I'm going to read 3 different countries. I'm going to say it fast, so I want you to listen carefully. In Russia, we have Yahimir. The teacher's voice is really incredible. The intonations, jokes, stories make me smile. It is the most enjoyable and simultaneously useful podcast I ever heard. Thank you. From Mac Shot. This podcast will really help people to improve their English listening skills. Yes, that's what I want. Thank you. And from Andre Boyd. I won't speak too much about this podcast. I'll only say that I've got iPad only to listen to it. Andre bought an iPad to listen to the podcast. My goodness, Apple loves you and so do I. But seriously, this is a very interesting and useful podcast, and I'm glad to have the ability to listen to it. Thank you very much, Coach Shane, and please don't forget to mention me in your next episode. It's done, Andre. Andre continues. For those of you who don't know about Shane's other channels, I recommend you join his daily dictation channel, E-Cubed channel, and if you have really serious intentions about your English, I strongly recommend you subscribe to the DDM community, which is a brilliant way to improve your English so much that you'll wonder how it's possible. You don't believe me? Try it and judge for yourself. Andre, thank you so much. My channels can be found on YouTube. Then we have EZHHH1966. Thanks a lot. And Yolshi, very good podcast. Thanks a lot. Looking forward to every new part. Thank you very much, Yoshi. Now I'm going to switch countries, and this is Italy. I may have introduced this person before, but I'm going to do it again. Fantastic, Aunt Margie. This podcast is very interesting and well structured. Listening to it is never boring. It's a great and funny way to learn lots of new words and expressions. It's absolutely recommended for those who want not only to improve their listening skills, but also discover something about culture. The section English Learning Advice is really precious. I'm enthusiastic about this new podcast, and I hope Coach Shane will go on with it. Margarita. Thank you very much, Margarita. From El Estro. Congratulations. This is a very interesting podcast. Never boring. The author focuses very much on common expressions. That's very important in learning English. Ciao, from a young Italian student. From Masi MM. Thank you. From Rogue. Is it Rogue or Roge? 70. Very interesting and useful to improve my English knowledge and to practice not only listening but also pronunciation. Recommended. Thank you. And to Luca Ferrari. Oh, I love the Ferrari car. Keep making podcasts. I listen to them every morning while driving to university. Thank you, Luca. And I should also mention Luca, Aunt Margie, and Andre are all DDM members. So thank you very much. And I want to introduce one more country. Mexico. This is from Kane Link. Thanks, Coach Shane. Your podcast is incredible. I hope you keep well. I recommend it to everyone. In truth, it is an incredible way to learn English. Thanks. Greetings. And Monique. Thank you very much for this podcast. Well, thank you to everybody. If you want me to read your rating from iTunes, just let me know and I will do it. I'll do my best anyway. I sincerely appreciate all of the ratings. Now, I do have some people give me 1 star or 2 stars, and that's fine. I understand. But I would really like to know why. If it's a 1-star show or just a 2-star show, let me know. 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. Thank you. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Now, let's go into the top listening countries. It's statistics time. Maintaining the top position is Russia. 4,900 downloads in Russia. Thank you so much. And jumping from 4th position to number 2 is Japan. Japan rocking and rolling this time. Thank you very much, Japan. Number 3, Italy. Kazakhstan falls to number 4. Mexico rises to number 5. China, then France at number 7. Spain, a big jump for Spain, number 8. The U.S. drops to 9th, and Brazil takes over the 10th spot. In 11th position, Vietnam, followed by Saudi Arabia. Then Germany. 14th is Korea. Ukraine at 15th. Malaysia jumped to 16th. Canada to 17th. India jumps to 18th. Singapore is at 19th. And Morocco jumps to 20th. Thank you so much to all the countries. And we really are all over the world right now. Our downloads are in 129 countries. That makes me so happy. So I would love to hear from you. You can leave a message on iTunes, and also you can email me. Send me an email. My email address is dailydictationmembers@gmail.com. dailydictationmembers@gmail.com. I do have other email addresses, but I'm not checking them very regularly. So send me an email, and I'll get you introduced on the next podcast. Tell your friends, everybody. The bigger we make this, the better. Okay, enough chit-chat. Let's get into the news. If you found someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? What about a pet? What about a blind pet chicken named Chookie Wookie? That's what Roberta Rappo of Sydney did. The pet was her autistic daughter's baby, and she knew she had to try. She did CPR on the chicken, and it worked! Mystified friends walked away thinking she was crazy, but after the hen clucked back to life, escaping the claws of death, she enjoyed texting them back. The miracle chicken laid an egg for Roberta and got hugs and kisses from the daughter. What? It was a story about a chicken, but what happened? All right, let's listen again. A little bit slower, a little bit clearer. Here we go. If you found someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? What about a pet? What about a blind pet chicken named Chooky Wookie? That's what Roberta Rappoe of Sydney did. The pet was her autistic daughter's baby, and she knew she had to try. She did CPR on the chicken, and it worked. Mystified friends walked away, thinking she was crazy. But after the hen clucked back to life, escaping the claws of death, she enjoyed texting them back. The miracle chicken laid an egg for Roberta and got hugs and kisses from the daughter. Oh, it's such a sweet story. It's a nice story. So there was a chicken, and somehow it ended up in a swimming pool. But this chicken couldn't swim, and it was almost dead. But a woman found the chicken, and she took the chicken out of the pool, and she gave the chicken CPR. And the chicken survived. And she was happy, and her daughter was happy. And that's the story. But let's go line by line and figure out exactly what I was saying. If you found someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? Okay, so if you found someone, so you find somebody lying still means not moving. In a pool it would be a swimming pool. Oh my goodness. If you found someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? Could you save them? Could you bring them out of the pool and save their life? Because if they're lying still in a pool, it means they may have drowned. D-R-O-W-N-E-D. That's terrible. They could be dead. So could you rescue them? Could you save them? What about a pet? So if you find someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? Probably you would try. But what about a pet? You know, like a dog or a cat. Would you try and rescue a dog or a cat? What about a blind pet chicken named Chooky Wookie? If you saw a chicken and the chicken was blind, it couldn't see, and the chicken was somebody's pet, and the chicken's name was Chooky Wookie, could you rescue the chicken? Well, I think most people would say no, but that's what Roberta Rappoe of Sydney did. So there's a woman in Sydney, Australia, and her name was Roberta Rappoe, and she did save or rescue a blind pet chicken named Chooky Wookie. Wow. Why? Well, the pet was her autistic daughter's baby, and she knew she had to try. Okay, so the pet was her daughter's pet, and the daughter thinks of the pet as her baby. She's raising her baby, her chicken. Now, her daughter has autism, A-U-T-I-S-M. She's autistic. The daughter is autistic, A-U-T-I-S-T-I-C. Autism is a type of genetic disorder. It's a problem with children. I don't know if it's genetic, but there are many types of autism. And some children with autism, they're actually okay. But some children with autism have to stay in a hospital because it's very hard for them to live in our normal world. Do you know the movie Rain Man with Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise? In that movie, Rain Man, Dustin Hoffman, he was autistic. He had autism. So, Roberto Rappo has a daughter, and her daughter is autistic. And the chicken was her daughter's baby. So, she knew, Roberta Rappo knew she had to try and save the chicken for her daughter. So what did she do? She did CPR on the chicken, and it worked. Wow, it worked. It was successful. What is it? CPR. She did, or she performed CPR on the chicken, or she gave the chicken CPR. Now, what is CPR? CPR is a medical procedure that we use in emergencies. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. I'm not going to spell it. You can just say CPR. Big C, big P, big R. So, if you find somebody and their heart is not pumping, and they're not breathing, that means they need CPR. So what you do is you do chest compressions, and that means you push on the chest. Very short, very quick, but a little bit deep, about 2 inches deep, about, I guess, 5 centimeters, and you push at a rate of about 100 per minute. So you push on the chest. That's the idea. You push on the chest, you're pushing on the chest, and you sometimes help them breathe by lifting their neck, closing their nose, and putting your mouth over their mouth and giving them a breath. This is called artificial respiration. So, when I was young, I did learn how to do CPR. And so far in my life, I've never had to perform CPR. Do you know CPR? I do recommend that you learn CPR, and there are classes in every community that teach CPR, and of course you can also learn online. But going to a Red Cross or some other hospital or police station or fire station is the best way to learn CPR. If you have time, I highly recommend you learn CPR. And this woman, she knew CPR and she did it on a chicken. Oh my goodness. So, mystified friends walked away, thinking she was crazy. So when this happened, when the woman found Chooky Wookie in the swimming pool, Roberta Rappo had several friends over, and they watched Roberta rescue the chicken, take the chicken out of the swimming pool, and give the chicken CPR. And the friends were mystified. They couldn't understand what Roberta was doing. Oh my God, Roberta, it's a chicken. It's dead. Stop it. They walked away. They left, thinking Roberta was crazy. Oh my God, Roberta's crazy. She's trying to save a chicken's life. She's giving mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to a chicken. Oh, she's crazy. But after the hen clucked back to life, escaping the claws of death, she enjoyed texting them back. But after the hen, a hen is a female chicken. After the hen clucked back to life. So usually we say came back to life. So the chicken was basically dead, but Roberta gave the chicken CPR, and then the chicken came back to life. And how do we know the chicken was alive? Because it clucked. The sound that a chicken makes is called clucking. C-L-U-C-K. The chicken clucked. So the chicken was dead, and then suddenly, after CPR, the chicken came alive. It escaped death. To escape means to run away successfully from something. And the chicken escaped what? Death. Death almost had the chicken. Death almost caught the chicken, but the chicken escaped death. And here I said, escaping the claws of death. If you look at a chicken's foot, it has claws. And those claws of death almost had the chicken, but she escaped the claws of death. And after the chicken was alive, Roberta Rapot enjoyed texting them back. So what she did, her friends walked away thinking she was crazy, but the chicken survived, and Roberta sent a text message to her friends. Ha! You thought I was crazy, but the chicken is alive. I am a hero. And she is. Now what's amazing is the miracle chicken. This chicken is a miracle. It should be dead. But thanks to Roberta and CPR, the chicken is alive. It's a miracle. The miracle chicken laid an egg for Roberta. Truly, it's true. So after the chicken came back to life, she laid an egg. She gave Roberta an egg and got hugs and kisses from the daughter. Of course she did. So it's a really nice story. It's kind of funny, but I think it's very, very sweet. So let's look at some of the vocabulary words. Lying still, not moving, maybe dead. A pool, a swimming pool in this case. To rescue, to save somebody's life. A pet dog, a pet cat. I have 2 pet cats. Sydney, Australia. Autistic, that's the adjective for autism, A-U-T-I-S-M. Check your dictionary for that word. CPR, this is a medical procedure. If somebody's heart stops beating and they stop breathing, we should do CPR. We should perform CPR. We should give them CPR. By giving them CPR, hopefully we can restart their heart and restart their breathing, and then we can save their life. CPR. It worked. It was successful. Mystified. They were confused. They didn't understand. He was mystified. He was confused. He didn't understand. They walked away thinking she was crazy. They left the situation thinking she was nuts. A hen, a female chicken, clucked back to life. To come back to life means to have been dead but are alive again. And cluck is the sound that a chicken makes. Escaping the claws of death. So we can imagine death as a dark shadow chasing the chicken, but the chicken escaped, successful. And death, as it's chasing the chicken, uses its claws, C-L-A-W-S, to grab the chicken, but the chicken was lucky and it escaped. Texting back, to send a text message to somebody in reply to something. Miracle chicken, the chicken that was saved by God, truly a miracle, truly a gift. Laid an egg, L-A-I-D, laid an egg, to produce an egg. Chickens lay eggs all the time. I like eggs. Eggs are good for you. I like the white parts and the yellow parts. And that's our story. So, once again, it's a happy story. It's kind of cute, but there are lots of good words and expressions for you to learn. So, I'm going to read it 2 more times. The first time, nice and clearly. The second time, normal American style. Are you ready? If you found someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? What about a pet? What about a blind pet chicken named Chooky Wookie? That's what Roberta Rapeau of Sydney did. The pet was her autistic daughter's baby, and she knew she had to try. She did CPR on the chicken, and it worked. Mystified friends walked away, thinking she was crazy. But after the hen clucked back to life, escaping the claws of death, she enjoyed texting them back. The miracle chicken laid an egg for Roberta and got hugs and kisses from the daughter. If you found someone lying still in a pool, could you rescue them? What about a pet? What about a blind pet chicken named Chooky Wookie? That's what Roberta Rapeau of Sydney did. The pet was her autistic daughter's baby, and she knew she had to try. She did CPR on the chicken, and it worked. Mystified friends walked away, thinking she was crazy. But after the hen clucked back to life, escaping the claws of death, she enjoyed texting them back. The miracle chicken laid an egg for Roberta and got hugs and kisses from the daughter. It's question and answer time. Our first question comes from SAAAG, SAG. Hi, Coach Shane. I'm new to your videos. I'm confused where to start. How should I follow you? Can you please suggest a method? Where to start? From where? Should I watch all of your daily dictations? What else should I do to speak fluently? Please help. Well, that's a great question, Sag. And you know what? I have lots of channels. So, daily dictation, www.youtube.com/dailydictation. That's a great channel. We have about 250 lessons right now. And if you are a beginner or low intermediate student, I recommend you start at Daily Dictation 1, DD1, and go through the whole series. That will take you a long time, but that will definitely help you with your English fluency. I have another channel, Daily English, and that channel address is www.youtube.com/dailyeasyenglish. And on that channel, I have almost 300 expressions, idioms or cliches or words that you should know for daily English communication. If you have an American friend, they should all know these expressions. They're very short lessons, and I try to make them fun, or at least funny. So you can watch all of those. One a day is my recommendation. Sometimes I miss a day, but I try my best. I have another channel, www.youtube.com/Coach Shane's ESL. Coach Shane's ESL. And this channel, I answer questions like yours with a video. Most of the questions are about pronunciation, and that's my specialty, pronunciation and listening skills. So there's no real method to watch these lessons, but if you have a problem with the R sound or some other pronunciation problem, or you're confused about an expression, you can look on this channel. Do a search or just look through the videos and hopefully I'll have a video for you. If I don't have a video, you can leave a comment at the end of any video and I will see it. And if it's a good one, I'll make an answer video for you. Then I have Success English, www.youtube.com/Success English. This channel is mainly for Korean students or for people who speak English and want to learn Korean. So I teach an English expression and its equivalent in Korean. And I have another good channel, and that is about American pronunciation, www.youtube.com/Pronounce It Right. And on this channel, I focus on one word and its pronunciation. And my new format is one word, an example sentence, and a definition. And I haven't been updating this channel much recently. However, I will be, and hopefully it will be a daily update in the future. So those are my main channels. There's one more, DD members only. DD members only. And this is for DDM students. Now, DDM is not free. You actually have to pay for the lessons. But if you go to the DD members only channel, you can watch some of our live classes. And we do have live classes, not for everybody. DDM membership has 3 levels. There's the DDM VIP, and those classes are actually very expensive. Then there's regular DDM. Those classes are actually very inexpensive. And then there's DDM from the beginning, and those classes are even cheaper. If you are interested in DDM, send me an email, dailydictationmembers@gmail.com, and I will send you a free lesson. That sounds pretty cool? I hope so. And DDM is really probably the best way to help you master your English skills because it involves listening, it involves writing, it involves speaking, and pronunciation, and those are very important. We don't talk much about grammar, and if you have grammar questions, oh, don't ask me. Learn American English is a great channel on YouTube, and he's brilliant with his grammar explanations. Okay? So, thank you very much for the question. Our next question comes from Ledehone, Ledehone. Hi there, Coach Shane. I've been trying to master the American accent for quite a while now, and I find it difficult to pronounce north, south. It's quite difficult to pronounce the S sound after the TH. Do you have any tips? Thanks in advance. Okay, so north, south, the S sound in south is difficult after the TH. Well, Ledehone, in American English, the S sound is the most important sound. So always try your best to keep the S sound. Now, in DDM and also in daily dictation, I teach students that if there's an S next to a TH sound, if we say it fast, the TH can disappear. So, north, south, north, south. The faster I say it, north, south, north, south, north, south, north, south, the TH can actually disappear. But remember, in my head, I am saying the TH, but out of my mouth, the S sound is more prominent. North, south, north, south, north, south. So some people just completely delete the TH, north, south. N-O-R apostrophe S-O-U-T-H. Some people say it like that, north, south, north, south. Fortunately, we don't use this word too much, except maybe for a highway. The highway runs north-south. It's a north-south highway. North-south highway. So it is tough. The TH is tough. Or the S, rather, can be tough. But remember, Lidahon, the S is more important than the TH. Okay? Felipe Pereira da Silva, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, has a question. Hello, Shane. You are awesome. Thanks for your videos. I'd like to ask you a question. In the video, and that was my vowel sound test video, it says that tuk has a schwa sound. However, in the International Phonetic Alphabet, tuk is represented with something else that's not schwa. Is that right? Thank you. Okay, Philippe. Now, this is a problem because, as I have found out, some dictionaries use the IPA symbols differently. Yes, it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. And that is a big reason why I hate the IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet. Now, I know many teachers, English teachers, linguists, they love the IPA. Great. I hope that you have fun teaching it. But my method does not rely on the IPA. Okay? I don't like using those symbols, especially now because in 2013, we have access to the internet. We can actually hear native English speakers speaking English. So you can hear a person say tuk, 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 It's an sound, which is, in my opinion, a schwa sound. Now, maybe somebody wants to disagree. That's fine. Everybody can have their own opinion. And also remember, Philippe, I say tuk. But I think in England they say tuk, although I'm not sure. Different parts of English-speaking countries in different areas do have different pronunciations. So there's not a perfect pronunciation. However, in America, if you say took, who took my seat? Who took my cell phone? In that case, took, everybody will understand you. So, I'm sorry, but don't focus on the IPA. Focus on the sound. Okay, Philly? And I'll take one more set of questions. This is from Victor in Argentina. Number one, could you make a video about the differences between the sounds of the letter D? Because I've read in many books about American pronunciation, and they say the T in pretty sounds like a D, pretty. But then I think, oh my God, the D as in day sounds totally different from pretty. Okay, I'm not going to make a video, but yes, I do agree with you. Pretty, pretty, day, day. Is there a difference in the D sound? Well, when we say day, day, it's a very full D sound. When we say pretty, P-R-E-T-T-Y, the American style, pretty, it's a very short D. Actually, they call it a flap T, pretty. pretty, pretty. And they call it a flap because it's like a flap. The tongue flaps on the roof of the mouth, the alveolar ridge. I'm sure you're familiar with that word, Victor. So the D's do sound different, Victor. However, the bass sound and placement and vibration are going to be very similar. Pretty, pretty, yes, we can have vibration when we say the word pretty. I know it's tough. Victor also asks about C-A-U-G-H-T, caught, and F-A-T-H-E-R, father, and C-U-T, cut. And he's using the IPA symbols. But once again, I hate the IPA symbols. Dictionaries use different symbols sometimes, and some Americans pronounce the words differently. Some Americans say father, some Americans say father, some Americans say caught, some Americans say cut. It's very different, these sounds. So once again, my answer with IPA symbols especially is ignore them and listen to the native English speakers. An American from Oregon will pronounce words differently than an American in Chicago or New York, or a British person in London has a different pronunciation from a British person in Scotland. And then there's Australia. So there's lots of different types of pronunciations, even in America. My recommendation, follow me. And his final question, I read in some books there's a special American nasal sound in words like B-A-T, bat, cat, and D-O-W-N, down. You've never mentioned those sounds in your videos. So, is this regional? Yes, it's a regional sound. Bat, cat, down. Put the cat down. Put the cat down. Very nasal, but not common. Some Americans do say that. Normally, we would say, put the cat down. Put the cat down. Some Americans, nasally, put the cat down. Put the cat down. Yeah, that's a very nasally sound, and it's not typical, and I recommend that you don't imitate that sound. Okay, Victor? So once again, when it comes to pronunciation, use the internet as your resource, not the dictionary. Okay? Some dictionaries do have an audio file. That's great. Listen to the audio file. The IPA, it's not my friend. And it sometimes helps a lot of students. I know it does, but also it sometimes confuses a lot of students. So forget the IPA. Use your ears and use the internet. And if you want, typical American pronunciation, I think my pronunciation is pretty damn good. Okay? How you doing, everybody? This is Country Shane, and I'm here to bring you the facts. Your body stops growing at about 20 years old, but your ears and your nose, they grow until you die. This has been Country Shane bringing you the facts.
Hi guys, Cliff here from That Was History. If you're a sports fan, you're going to enjoy the event from history that I have for you today. Did you know that on October 7th of 1916, American football head coach John Heisman led his Georgia Tech Engineers to a 222-0 victory over the Cumberland Bulldogs? This is the highest scoring game ever played in American football history. To find out more about this story and others like it, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. All you've got to do is search for That Was History.
Alright, it's time again for Let's Master English's studying tip, and today I want to go back to the blogs. Now, I've got some great news. Miguel from Spain has started a blog in English and Spanish. Mario in Brazil has started a blog in Portuguese and English. And Key in Vietnam has started a blog in Vietnamese and English. If you are Vietnamese, if you speak Portuguese, if you speak Spanish, contact these guys and join their blogs. Help them with their blogs. Teach English. Remember, what does it take to become a teacher? If you know one thing that somebody else might not know, then you can be a teacher. You are qualified to teach. So if you're watching my videos and you learn something new, teach it. That way you'll master it. And this is one of the best ways to master the English language. It really helps. So use these blogs. And I'll put some links to the blogs in the description file. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'll put it in there somehow. I'm still not used to this podcast stuff, so I'll work on it. I'm getting used to it. But once again, I want to say thank you so much to Mario and Miguel and Key. You guys are doing great, and I want to see some activity in Russia, maybe a blog in Russian and English. vk.com would be a great place. And China and every other country. I would love for my lessons to be available to everybody around the world, and especially for the beginners, because, well, I know my English lessons are a little bit difficult for the beginner. However, it's okay. You can still learn something. And if you help me and you take my lessons and do a little bit of translation for people in your country that speak your language, that's a big help. And remember, we're all the same family, so it benefits everybody. So once again, keep making blogs. I'm serious. This is a huge way to help you master English and to help others too. That's gonna do it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this edition, the 7th episode of Let's Master English. Please subscribe on iTunes and give me a good rating. Give me a review. Once again, iTunes. I think everybody knows that. You can also get our podcast on our homepage, www.letsmasterenglish.com. Please go there, leave a comment, and if you want me to introduce you, tell me. If you want a free DDM lesson, email me. My email address, once again, dailydictationmembers@gmail.com. And I'm out of here. Take care, everyone, and let's master English.